Evening, good morning, good afternoon, based on your time zone. Welcome to the Business Analysis Masterclass. I'm Sajna Binil. I'll be your business analysis coach for this masterclass. So if you can see me and hear me clearly, type CL in the chat box. Type CL in the chat box if you can see me. Meanwhile, give me a moment. Let me mark the attendance. Let me see if we have missing anyone in the masterclass. Some are just joining in. Just hold on, guys. We'll just get started. Okay, so let's get started. So welcome to our Business Analysis Masterclass. This masterclass has a twofold objective. First objective being to teach you the implementation of business analysis in the real world. So that we do with the help of a bootcamp project. Okay, what is the bootcamp project and everything I'm going to explain to you. But that's the first objective of this training program, implementation of business analysis in the real world. Second objective, obviously, is the preparation for your ECB exam. So we are going to go through the entire syllabus that's included for the ECB exam, and I will be taking you through WebOrg chapter wise. So these are two objectives of our masterclass. Couple of ground rules before we get started. So it's my request that you attend the masterclass using your laptop. The main reason for it being that there will be a lot of visuals coming your way. There will be a lot of demonstrations of tools as well as a lot of diagrams. We will do a lot of modeling. So if you take it using attend this class using the mobile, you might not be able to see all the elements on the screen. So that's the reason I advise my students to take it from their laptops. So do that. You'll see that we have muted all the participants. That's just to avoid any disturbance in recordings. Okay. So no worries. All your queries will be handled. Okay. They will be handled separately. So don't worry about your queries and things like that. Recordings of all these sessions will be shared next day of the class. Just hold on. Next day of the class, my team will send out an email with the recordings. Take notes while the class is in progress. This is mandatory for in all my master classes. I suggest my students to take notes. And when you take notes, it becomes easier for you to implement it in your projects also. Like as the class proceeds, I will tell you what are the things that you have to keep in mind when you are onboarded into a new project. When you're deployed on a new project, what are the key things you should keep in mind? So it will come very handy for you if you take it down in the form of notes. Okay. Later on, referring to the recordings will be quite a bit of a task for you. So keep taking notes. I will also tell you what are the important chapters and important areas in a particular chapter that you need to focus from the exam per se. So note that down as well. Query handling, like I mentioned, note down all your queries. As the class is progressing, there might be several queries that come up to your mind. It's okay. Keep making note of those queries. Okay. And we have created support groups in Telegram. Each one of you must have received requests from Swati, from my team, saying that, okay, this is the group and all your queries will be responded. Okay. So keep noting down your queries as it comes to your mind so that you don't forget it and you post it in the support group. Okay. During the break time or later after the class, either Swati or myself, if it's a subject related question, of course, I will respond back to it. So I personally respond back to your queries. So all your query handlings will happen on a one-to-one basis. Okay. There is an alternate way in which you can send your queries. If you want, you can email us your queries in this form, in this email address, info@interactivelearning.in. You can also email or you can use the Telegram support group. There are two ways. All queries will be answered within 24 hours. That means many times it might happen that you posted a query, Swati or myself, I might be taking a class and I'm not available to answer. So within 24 hours, the queries will get answered. We are based out of India, and many of you must be based out of a different time zone. So for you, it might be a working day, and for us, it might be just the end of the day. So you might not get an immediate response. Okay. So the next point, yes, next point is very, very important. If you're stuck while completing an activity in a class, like I mentioned, we focus on implementation of business analysis. So I will be doing several activities in the class, making you draw several UML diagrams and things like that. If you're stuck when you're doing an activity, maybe your laptop just froze or you can't see the screen that I'm showing on in my laptop, do not panic. Just follow the 24-hour magic formula that I tell my students. And what's that 24-hour magic formula? Watch the recording within the next 24 hours and you will be able to complete the activity yourself. So because as I take you step by step through a demo of a tool or maybe showing you a particular UML diagram, I will not stop in between because it becomes difficult for others to follow. So if you are stuck, just keep watching my screen. How am I doing it? And you'll also get the recording so that during the weekdays you can complete that particular activity and upload it. So don't worry about that. Yeah, the last point is do not post your queries in our main group, Business Analysis Mastermind, because all the batch students are included over there. So everyone will get confused where these queries are coming from. These are some of the ground rules. As the class proceeds, we'll do a lot of interaction through chat. I'll take pauses wherever I feel that you need to absorb this information, and then we need to proceed ahead. So I'm not going to bombard you with a lot of theory. We believe more in implementation. Let me go to the next one. Yes, practical lab sessions, very important, guys. Take a note of this. Practical lab sessions are done by my team, arranged by my team once every month. Okay, date and time of that will be announced. It will be announced. It will be put up in our Telegram group. You'll get an email also about it. Do attend these practical lab sessions. What happens in these practical lab sessions is we do a lot of activity in terms of role plays. So activity in terms of learning the diagrams and everything, they're going to cover in the masterclass, in the 3 weeks of masterclass that we're going to do. What happens in the lab session is I'm going to ask you to do a presentation of a requirement gathering session. So I might select one student as the customer and another student as a business analyst. Okay? And we do a role play. So I'll give ask the business analyst to formulate some questions and the customer to be, responsive of that questions, how the customer should respond. So that will give you a good idea or hands-on exposure as to how exactly a requirement gathering meeting happens. So several such role plays. Also, we write user stories. That's also one activity that we do in lab sessions, where I'll give you a requirement and I'll send you out in different breakout rooms and ask you to write user stories yourself and bring it to the main room. So practical lab sessions, we do all these extra role plays and additional activities. The date and time, like I said, will be announced. In case the date and time is not as per your time zone, don't worry. Check out for the next practical lab session. Every month practical lab sessions are conducted in a different time. Okay, just wait for the next practical lab session, and you can also put us a note in the Telegram group that this is the time zone that I am in. Okay, we will arrange the next practical lab session. So whenever the lab sessions are arranged, if the date and time is not as per your convenience, that you can pick up the next session. Like I said, it happens every month. It happens every month repeatedly, so you can choose practical lab sessions. And then we have, I believe my team has sent you the skill gap and career growth assessment forms, right? I think I had emailed it to everybody. Please complete these forms, skill gap assessment. Each one of you have completed this? Type yes in the chat box if you've done that. Who has not done it? Great. I think everyone has done. That's great. That's great. Go ahead then. System access. So you must have already received an email from my team for the learning management system, which is our business analysis hub. With the business analysis hub, you will find a bunch of videos. So there are several course bundles, and each of the course bundle has videos associated with that particular topic. So business analysis hub is our learning management system. You will have lifelong access to those videos. No worries, you'll have access to those videos because I know that students, even after they get deployed in a project, several times they need to refer back. Okay? Need to refer back to see, okay, what was the requirement gathering process that was explained and things like that. So that's the reason you will have access to the learning management system. Then we have something called as ECBA exam simulator. I'll tell you what exactly it is. Exam simulator access you will have through the business analysis hub. In the exam simulator, we have uploaded mock quizzes for the ECB exam. So this exam simulator, you will have access to this for 3 months. That means within 3 months, you have to finish preparation for your ECB exam and give the exam. Okay. So exam simulator is a quiz where the quizzes are uploaded. And these are different things that you will find in the exam simulator, which is given here. Like I said, ECB exam question. Then there is some additional reference material you will have. And there is a section called as upload project documents, where you will be uploading all the artifacts that you create in this class. And there is a crossword which will help you for the exam. There's a lot of things there in the exam simulator. Let me just pause here and just show you. On my screen right now, I have opened up the learning management system, that is Business Analysis Hub. Okay. Here we have, you'll see several course bundles over here. Okay. So right now, because I have admin level access, I can see all the course bundles together. You will be able to see Business Analysis Masterclass, Information Technology Blueprint, Requirements Framework, Requirement Analysis Model, Requirement Management, and Requirement Documentation Template, and Career Growth Funnel. These are some of the course bundles that you will have access to. Okay. So this is, so once you click on a particular box, the course bundle, you can access all the videos within it. Be able to see all the videos within it, and you just need to click the start button, and you will be able to get into watch each of these videos. Now let me show you exam simulator. Okay. Now to get into the exam simulator, just click on the Career Growth Funnel course. Okay. Click on this Career Growth Funnel course, and you will see a lot of videos uploaded here also. There is a module here which says exam simulator. So there is a separate section I have created, ECB exam. This is very, very important for you. All the videos, files, which are very important from the ECB exam is uploaded here. So in Business Analysis Hub, go to Career Growth Funnel, and there is a section in that called the ECB exam. So what I want you to do right now, start downloading the first file, BABOK. That's the document that we'll refer for the exam. That's our main course material. Then we have ECBA reference guide. This is a reference guide I have created. Okay. This is additional reference for you. Download this also. Next, we have ECBA study plan. I want you to download these three documents. Keep it for download right now. Okay. When you click on exam simulator, I need to log in again. Now I got it. When I click on exam simulator, it will give you the following steps. The steps to access the quiz. Okay. So first, click on this particular link. Then enter your email address as the username. This is the password that you have to enter. Click on submit, and it will take you to the quiz maker. Okay. It will take you to the ECBA quiz. In case you have any access related issue, you can always put a message in the Telegram group. So my team has created access for each one of you in the exam simulator. Right today or tomorrow, if you have any access related issues, put a message in the Telegram group or send us an email in this ID. Okay, and we will look into it in case you're not able to log in. This is a small introduction about myself. I've been a business analysis and agile coach for over a decade now. So I'm the founder of Interactive Learning Solutions, and we have created a community of business analysts here called the Business Analysis Hub. Have had several corporate training programs and trained over 10K business analysts across the globe. With 22 years of industry experience, my last full-time role was leading a practice of business analysis competency center in my organization. I've also authored a research paper, Transforming Learning Through Agility. It's published in the ITJRD journal. And these are some of my certifications. Okay. Small introduction of myself. And now let's get into let's do a small introduction of what is this business analysis hub that we have built. Like I said, here in Interactive Learning Solutions, we have a community-based learning approach. And that's the reason we have built Business Analysis Hub. This is coming from my experience that, when I initially started off my career as business analyst, there was not enough support and guidance for us to move up the ladder, how to go about it. And we didn't even have clarity of what business analysis is all about. So if any one of you have gone through the initial videos of the Business Analysis Masterclass bundle, I have extensively spoken about my journey in business analysis, starting as a junior BA, how I moved up and what was the initial struggle like, So keeping that in mind, keeping the initial struggle in mind, as I started coaching business analysts, I figured out even after 20, 22 years, even now the struggle is the same for entry-level business analysts. Very few entry-level business analysts actually know what business analysis is all about. Many of them feel that it is just taking requirements and giving it to the technical team. It's just coordination, which was, of course, what I also thought when I was in the initial stage of my career. So we have given this more of a community-based learning approach, which means even after the completion of your training program, you will be very well connected with me and associated with me, so that any problems that you face when you get deployed actually in a real-life project, you have someone who can support you and guide you in the right direction. So our mission as a community is to help at least 100,000 professionals build successful and rewarding careers in business analysis. And that's the reason I specifically coach people like me. I have been a non-techie, so I tell my students how I, being an absolute non-techie, how I was able to build such a successful career in business analysis in the IT, being from an absolute non-technical background. So many of the people who, when they come into business analysis, this is one myth that they carry, that we should come from a technical background or we should be knowing programming to become a business analyst. And that's one thing I clarify for all my students, that you don't need to have a programming knowledge in order to be successful in business analysis. So this is not a software developer's role that you should be knowing programming and coding. For a software developer's role, definitely you should be knowing programming and coding. Goes without saying, right? But in order to become a functional BA, what is key, what is important to you is having good communication skills and problem solving and analytical skills. So some core skills, which I have already spoken to many of you when you had contacted me on a one-on-one session. In my one-on-one counseling, I asked you specific questions to gauge whether you have the base level skills to get into a business analyst role. And from there, to take you to the next level, to coach you and help you build the skills that you don't have, that's totally my responsibility. This is a code of honor for our business analysis hub community. Code of honor means the couple of values and rules by which our community abides by. The first value that I have created for the group is belief. And why is belief so important? Whenever you are starting a new chapter in your life or your career, there is a lot of belief that we need to have within us, isn't it? How many of you agree with that? Because I've seen this happening. Many of them, they want to become business analysts. Somewhere down the line, because of that lack of confidence, because of that fear, they fizzle out. They say, oh, I want to do it, but I'm not very sure I will be able to do it. This is what people say. That's what my students keep saying. So that's the first value that we say, that all the people, all the students who get associated with us, I specifically in my masterclass stress on the fact that this masterclass will equip you with all the skills, all the tool knowledge, all the right attitude, the right exposure in terms of the bootcamp project. You will get good hands-on exposure, all that is required on the job. There is nothing that you will feel that, this has not been addressed. So when all of this is given to you, there should not be any lack of belief, or there should not be any fear that should withhold you from reaching your ultimate goal. So believe in yourself, guys. This is the first stepping stone for you to, once we complete this 3-week program, for you to go out and implement all this knowledge is totally in your hands. As a coach, I can give you all the knowledge. I can ensure that I will help you build all the skills that are required in the job. But implementation is totally your responsibility. So at the end of the masterclass, if you fizzle out, Again, if you allow those fears to come in, wherein different people are talking about different things, maybe I should go into a different field, or that, you get totally disaligned. Okay, so be very focused. If you have chosen business analyst as a profession, and if you have chosen this masterclass, there is nothing that, there is no skill or no knowledge gap that this program will leave you with. So believe and go ahead with that. And as soon as you get ECBA trained, guys, as soon as you clear your ECBA exam, that tag, IIBA will issue an ECBA badge, which you can use in your resumes, you can use in your signature, in your LinkedIn profile. You can use it everywhere that you want to show the world that this is your competency level. Needless to say, IIBA is a globally recognized institute for business analysis. So this is, again, will be a very big turning point for you to start your career as a business analyst. The second point I speak about clarity. Yes, we focus a lot in giving you absolute clarity about what you should be doing on the job and what you should not be. Because at the initial stage of my career, I used to get pulled in all directions. How many of you are experiencing that in your current job? Getting pulled in several directions by your manager or maybe customer. You need to, they give you all kind of justifications. You should be doing estimation also. You should be doing a different level of project management also. But here you'll get complete clarity as what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. When you get that kind of clarity, guys, when someone else in the office tells you, get involved in this, you have a very strong point to reject that. You have, because you are very clear about what a VA should be doing. So if someone else is involving you in a different activity, there's no need to get stressed on that particular activity. You can tell them that as a business analyst, this is what my responsibilities are. So have absolute clarity in what you're doing. And then comes a passion. Okay? You should be absolutely passionate about business analysis. At the end of these 3 weeks, guys, I'm very, very sure you will get passionate about this particular profession. You'll see this profession in a different dimension altogether. That's my assurance to you. So I'm very passionate about business analysts. And I tell that, don't look at business analysis as just another job that will help you put food on the table. It's not that, we should be very, very passionate about solving our customers' problems. When we are passionate about that itself reflects on our job. And which brings us to the next point. This passion itself builds a lot of focus, the focus that is required for us to expedite our career to the next level. Okay. So in this training program, I want each one of you to be very focused in the different topics that I'm discussing on business analysis. There are several elements I will outline as to these are some of the activities a senior BA does. So do take it down in your notes that at this particular level, you will not be doing that. So be very focused on what you will be doing as an entry-level BA and what you might be doing 5 years down the line. Like I said, in BA Book is a single book that's published both for entry-level BAs as well as senior BAs. So you will find a mixture of advanced level techniques also coming from this book. So I want you to focus only on the stuff that is relevant to you at this stage of your career. Then we have the learning. This is a very, very important point, guys. For you to grow in your business analyst career, you need to invest in your learning continuously. That means at every stage in your career as a business analyst, there will be some additional skills that you might require to get to the next level. Okay? And those additional skills might come by you taking a particular certification program or upgrading yourself on a particular tool or whatever. Identify that at the right time and upgrade yourself. So I tell my students, be deep learners. Your learning does not end over here. Learning is a continuous journey. How many of you agree with this? Learning is a continuous journey. Thank you very much. Yes. Many of the people, I specifically say that because many students, they feel that once they have completed their college and now they have started working, our studies are over. Why should we bother to learn? But it's in our profession, guys, we are, especially, as a business analyst, we are in information technology. And the IT world there is so rapidly changing. Our customers' businesses are changing. And the automation systems that used to be deployed some years ago, they have undergone a rapid amount of change. So if you don't upgrade yourself, you will find after some years, you are totally lost. You are not in touch with the technologies that are being currently used. The kind of systems your customer needs, you are not in touch with those kind of systems. So engage in continuous learning. Okay, so I spoke to you about Business Analysis Hub, our community. How do we members stay connected? These are the different weekly calls that we have on a regular basis. The first Inner Circle Mastermind meetup, it happens every Tuesday at 8 p.m. If there are any changes to the time or things like that, it is posted in the Telegram group. So keep watching the messages coming in the Telegram group. In the Inner Circle Mastermind meetup, what happens is the community members come and I discuss a particular topic which might be brought up by one of the students. Like last Mastermind, we discussed about business process management. How do business analysts get into that particular area? Sometimes we discuss about anxiety during presentation. Students have mentioned that some of them had enormous anxiety that they experienced during presentation. How can we overcome that? So any particular topic that might be issue that a student is facing, or it might be an upcoming tool or technology, upcoming trend in business analysis. That's the Mastermind meetup all about. Then we have an ECBA study group meetup. This is only for students who are appearing for ECBA exam every Monday at 7 p.m. IST. So in this call, what we do is students join this call, and if they have any doubts, if they want a particular topic to be explained again, they have forgotten that particular concept, then they join the call along with me, and they can ask their queries, and I run a quiz at the end of the call. This is a very short call. We keep it for 30 minutes, and students ask their queries, and if they want to drop off due to Monday is a very busy day for them, so they ask their queries, and if they want, they can immediately drop off. Then we run a quiz to see how much quizzes to see how much you are prepared on that particular topic. So this study group is more of an accountability call, guys, where if you are connecting on a weekly basis with me, you will see that there is a progress in your study. What happens, what I've observed is after the master class, everybody gets busy with their office work, or on the personal front, something is happening, and the ECB examination goes into the back burner. Then after 1 month, they open the book, they have forgotten most of the things I've taught. Then what happens again, guys? What happens when you forget? The fear sets in, right? Yes, correct. Lose motivation. The fear sets in because you feel, I've forgotten most of the things now. Forget it. I'm not giving the exam. So they give up. That is the reason we have started this accountability call. Every Monday, you can come prepared with one chapter. Or even if you're not able to complete one chapter, you can even complete half the chapter and half. But at least make progress slowly. That's what I say. So the net time that's taken by a student to prepare for ECB exam is 1 month. But you might take a little more time, say 2 months. But be there in the ECB call so that you can you yourself are aware of the progress, and we are also aware of the progress. So meeting links for both these meetings are in the Mastermind Telegram group. Okay, if you just click on the group description, you can see the meeting links over there. So there's no need to every week there's no need to look for where is the meeting link, who is going to send me the meeting link. It is there in the Telegram group. So ECBA study call you need to attend only till the time you clear your ECBA call. After that, there's no need to attend this call. But Mastermind meetup, I would suggest each one of you attend every week. Just at least 30 minutes, stay connected with the group, and listen to the topic that's being discussed that particular week. Now we have, what is the bootcamp project? So if any one of you is wondering, what is the bootcamp project? Here it is. So towards the end of this session, I will assign a project to you, and I'll explain what that project is all about. Okay? So you'll see what are the requirements and things like that. I'm not telling you the details right now, because we'll start our class, we'll learn the concepts, and then we'll talk about projects. The project expects you to create a functional requirement document, create user stories, screen mockups, process flows, and mind maps. And don't get worried about how I will create all of this. You will do it step by step along with me in the class. Okay, so no worries on that. Like that, which brings us to the third point: instructions will be given in the class. Templates will be provided to you. We already have that course bundle. Documentation templates, all templates are there. You just have to watch my screen and complete the documents along with me. I'll tell you what document to open when and what to type in that. I will give you, you will be creating a sample requirement along with me in the class, and the similar kind of requirement you have to write for a new stream. That's simple. Now, completed documents have to be uploaded in the exam simulator. So if you see in the exam simulator, there is a section called as upload project documents. Let me show it to you. Here. This is the exam simulator. So once you log into the exam simulator, this is what you will see. Okay. And there is a section, upload project documents here. Click on this and you will be able to attach your files here. So these are the documents that have to be uploaded. You will also be able to see the quizzes. There is a section in Exam Simulator called as practice tests. These practice tests contain chapter-wise quizzes. Altogether, there is around a total of 450 questions. So you will have a mixed set of questions towards the end. And these are all questions chapter-wise. So that you can prepare small chunks of data from Webok, and you can just give exam pertaining to that. So that's the second last point. Completed documents have to be uploaded. Students who create very good quality of requirements will get a special certificate of achievement from me. That's also there. So with respect to certificates, everyone will be receiving the certificate of completion, okay, with information that how many PDUs have you gathered through this training program. This is the certificate of achievement, which will, from an entire batch, will identify 1 or 2 students who have written very good quality of requirements and created good mock-ups, process flows. They will get a certificate of achievement. So next steps, guys, after the masterclass. Your next steps will be to clear your ECB exam. And while you're preparing for your ECB exam, update your resume and start applying for jobs. So it is not mandatory that you wait till your ECB exam gets over, till the time you clear the exam. While you're preparing, update your resume, start applying for jobs. Yeah. Then, in order to support our students, give me a minute. In order to support our students further in this journey, from the masterclass training to the time they get actually deployed in live projects, we also provide extended support, which is one-to-one mentoring in Zoom calls. Okay? So these are bespoke sessions. If you want something like one-to-one mentoring, you can always opt for it. What we do in the one-to-one mentoring is live project induction. That means if you have been, if you're recently hired by an organization and there are different set of responsibilities given to you, additional set of responsibilities given to you, along with the usual business analyst role, then we help you understand those responsibilities and how you actually get familiarized to the new project. How do you identify stakeholders in your project? How do you create a KT plan? Introduction with the customer and the team, how is that managed? How can you finish reading a BRD? These are a couple of sessions usually our students have with us during mentoring sessions. And live project support. In case you need our team to review the functional requirement documents you're creating, the user stories that you're creating, the process flow diagrams that you're creating, you need help in preparing a presentation to a customer, all of that can be addressed through your one-to-one mentoring session, which you can book with my team if you need that. This is the career growth formula. This is, again, something that we do for our students in mentoring session, where we design career goals for them and help them finalize KPIs with their manager and teach them how to have effective appraisal discussions with their manager. All of this is done by understanding what exactly are your career aspirations. How do you want to grow into? And a couple of those career goals and aspirations I'll be already discussing at the end of the masterclass and telling you how you should plan your career as a business analyst. Now, ECB exam. Now, you guys must be having a lot of queries on the ECB exam. I know that. So a couple of those queries are going to get addressed now. So we'll watch the ECB video in some time. The download is in progress. And then the next point that's there in this slide is as you go into the career growth funnel, you will find the following documents, which I've already told you to download. I hope each one of you have downloaded. Give me a thumbs up if you have done that. BA-BOK, reference guide and study plan. Yes, guys, are you there? Yeah. Good, you have downloaded these documents. Now, what do you need to do with the study plan is something that I'm going to tell you. You need to create your own target date for the exam using the study plan. I'll just open the study plan and show you that. Yeah, here. I hope you can see the study plan Excel sheet on my screen. So all the dates here, start date, end date, is dates from 2020, because that's when we started the study plan approach. Knock off these dates and put your dates. So you can arrive on the end dates based on the end dates that I have put in this as a guideline. Like if you see chapter 1, it's a pretty introductory chapter. So I've just allocated 1 day. 1 day is pretty, as you go through chapters, you come to know, depending upon the length of the chapter and the complexity of the chapter, I have given a different timeline for every chapter. You can change this if you feel that you need some more time for a particular chapter. That's okay. You can change it. There's no hard and fast rule. But how you have to progress with your study ECB exam preparation, this will give you a guideline. So after chapter 1 and 2, spend 1 day in doing the mock test for chapter 1 and 2. Okay. So without doing the mock test, don't progress to the next chapter. Your your preparation for the exam becomes relatively incomplete if you are completing a chapter and not giving the mock quiz for that. So at every stage, I put a checkpoint. Checkpoint is the mock test. You have to go to the exam simulator, complete the mock test, and see how much you're scoring. Okay, if you're scoring 80% and above in the mock quizzes, that shows a good amount of exam readiness. That's your way. That's a way in which you can check the exam readiness. So after completion, or you see after completion of every chapter, I've included mock test. I've also included repeat mock test in some cases. Repeat mock test. That means the student has completed mock test for chapter 4, and now the same day, he's also doing a repeat mock test for chapter 1, 2, and 3, which he must have completed the previous week. This is so that the concepts remain fresh in your mind. You will see if you don't do this repeat mock test, the chapters that you studied in the first week, by the 4th week, they must have already evaporated. Okay. So this study plan is a guideline for you as to what you should be doing. What are your key milestones? What are the key checkpoints that you have to keep in order to have a good progress for the exam preparation, from the exam preparation front. Now, one more point that is mentioned in this particular slide, guys, is the steps on how to apply for the ECB exam. That's the last 8 point that you see on the slide. How to apply for the ECB exam and how to claim your PDUs. You might be having questions on that. So there's a detailed video that I have done, again, in Career Growth Funnel, how to add PDUs on the IIBA website. Okay, what is the detail you have to just go through that, blindly follow the steps, and you will be able to complete your application process, and you'll get an immediate approval from IIBA. And the note towards the end is very important, guys. This ECB application on the IIBA website can only be completed on the last day of the training program, because you have to enter the training dates, and the application does not accept future dates, because our training program is not over, and if you try to apply, it will not allow you. On the last day of the training program, you can watch that video, apply for the videos, and it will get approved from IIB. Let's see the audio, and you can put in the chat if you can't hear, okay?
Hi guys, so if you're someone who's planning to move into a business analyst role without ECBA certification, we will discuss about the benefits of ECBA certification.
All good, it's audible, guys? Is it audible? I'm just checking before we go ahead. Okay, great. Now audible.
The eligibility criteria, the fee structure, and how does one prepare to clear this exam? So all your questions regarding ECBA certification will be answered in this video. So let's dive in. What is ECBA certification? ECBA stands for Entry-Level Certificate in Business Analysis. This is a certificate that's issued by IIBA. IIBA stands for International Institute of Business Analysis. This is a non-profit organization based out of Canada that is continuously working and serving the profession of business analysis. ECBA is one of the most sought-after certifications for beginner BAs. So let's look into the details of the certification. So now let's look at what are the benefits of this certification. Like I mentioned, ECBA certification is one of the most sought-after certification for beginner BAs. It not only gives you a credibility in this profession, but also makes you aware of some of the industry best practices that has to be followed in business analysis. It opens doors to better job opportunities. In my YouTube channel, there is an interview of my student Hemant. Hemant has explicitly mentioned in his interview that after he completed his ECBA certification, the volume of interview calls increased drastically. It opens doors to better opportunities. Also, if you are someone who is moving from a different role into a business analyst role, procuring a ECBA certification makes you look more serious about this profession. So your employer gets a confidence that you will not be moving from this role anytime soon because you have invested so much in procuring a IABA certification. It makes you look more serious about your career. And they feel that you are not a career hopper. ECBA certification also gives you a better negotiation power when it comes to salaries. So ECBA certified candidates get at least 12% more salary than the non-certified ones. So the benefits of this certifications are immense, guys. Now let's take a look at the exam eligibility. Like I told you, this exam can be taken by everyone. So there is no work experience required for taking this examination. You can be from any background, IT or non-IT. You can, if you are able to study the entire syllabus that's given for the ECBA examination, that is good enough. So there is no eligibility criteria in terms of the background required or the experience required. For this exam, 21 PDUs are required, that is professional development units. Now you can collect these PDUs by taking a training with an endorsed training provider. Our company, Interactive Learning Solution, is an endorsed training provider by IIBA. All the students who complete ECBA certification from us automatically get the PDUs that are required to complete the examination. That's with respect to the exam eligibility. Now let's take a look at the exam format. The exam consists of 50 questions and the time limit is 60 minutes. So 50 questions, 60 minutes. It is an MCQ type of exam, multiple choice, which means you don't have to write any answers over there, no subjective questions. You have to choose a correct answer. The exam is an online proctored exam. So it's not an open book test, it's an online proctored exam. A moderator from IIBA will be constantly moderating the exam as you are giving it online. With respect to the difficulty level, it's a relatively easy exam, guys. Since this certification is made for beginner BAs, there is absolutely no difficulty level for this certification. It's a relatively easy exam to crack. Questions are straight from the textbook. What is the exam fees involved? Now, the investment for this exam includes an application fees, which is $45. Membership fees. Now, the membership fees differs based on the region that you are located. So it differs from location to location. If you're based out of India, membership fee will come to $55. If you're based out of US, UK, or Singapore, it comes to $139. And of course, people belonging to Thailand, Maldives, Malaysia, it is $89. Okay, this is the membership fee. The exam fee is $150 for members, and the exam fee is $305 for non-members. Now, why this differentiation between members and non-members? The whole benefit of taking a membership with IIBA is you get a heavy discount on the exam fee and you get all access to their resources and their knowledge base. So membership fee is an annual fee. So taking into consideration these figures, the total investment for someone from the India geography would include $45 plus $55 plus $150. So in Indian currency, this roughly comes to 18.5 to 19K. Okay, that's the total investment that's involved. Understand, I'm using the term investment because every money that you put into your learning is an investment, not an expense. Because once you complete this certification and you get a job, within the next 6 months, you will get the entire returns on this investment. Yes, guys, this is one thing I tell my student. Any learning that you engage in, always consider this learning as an investment towards your future. Now let's look at the exam blueprint. Now, what is the exam blueprint? Exam blueprint tells you the weightage in terms of the chapters. So these are the different chapters that are a part of the ECBA syllabus, and given beside each chapter is a weightage. So if you have managed to grab a copy of BA-BOK, Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, this exam blueprint will make you aware of what is the weightage given to each chapter. So chapter number 3, Business Analysis Planning and Monitoring, has 5% weightage. Elicitation and Collaboration has 20% weightage. Requirement Lifecycle Management has again 20% weightage. Requirement Analysis and Design Definition has 25% of weightage. Techniques chapter, which is the longest chapter in BA-BOK, has 17.5% weightage. Competencies has 5%, And key concepts, which is the second chapter, has again a 5% of weightage. So if you look at this weightage distribution, you can very easily say what are the top chapters that you should focus on. Of course, elicitation and collaboration, requirement lifecycle management, and requirement analysis and design definition. These are three main important chapters. Having said that, you should not ignore the other chapters. Techniques is not far behind. Now let us look at some of the resources that are required to clear this exam. Like I mentioned, BA BOK, that is a business analyst body of knowledge. This is a book that's published by IABA and has the entire syllabus for the ECBA exam. So if you manage to grab a copy of BA BOK, ensure that you are having version 3, which is the latest copy of BA BOK. Along with this book, you will need a mock test so that you can practice, once you complete a particular chapter, you can go to the mock test and practice to see what is your readiness for the exam. You will also need to create a study plan. Now, why is a study plan required? I, as a coach, highly recommend that you have a study plan for your ECBA certification, because we have seen through our experience that many students, when they enroll for ECBA certification, they are all determined to make it happen. But after they start their studies, somewhere midway, they lose interest and get more focused on their office work or something happening on the personal front, and they lose motivation. So in such cases, it's very difficult to come back to studies after a long gap. So having a study plan keeps you focused. So in my ECBA workshops, I prepare a study plan for my students where I mention the target dates by which they have to complete the chapters and report back to me. So a study plan helps you stay focused, guys, because as we all know, no one works without deadlines. So when deadlines are given to you, you work towards it. So have a study plan. Lastly, have a reference guide that will point you to the important sections of BA BOK, which will act as a quick reference for you to brush up, a few days before the exam. Now let's look at how does one prepare for this examination. So when you are preparing for the exam, so in my ECBA certification workshops, the first step I tell my students is go and pay the application fee. So once you have paid the application fee, your mind automatically starts working towards the goal. See, the problem with these professional certifications is they don't have a fixed timeline. It can be taken throughout the year. So you can complete your ECBA training in January and go and take the exam in August or September. There is no timeline given by IABA. The benefit is that you get complete flexibility to take the exam whenever you want. But the con is that when you get more flexibility, you tend to procrastinate. So that your mind doesn't procrastinate and so that it works towards this goal, the first step I tell my students to do is go and pay the application fee. When you know that your money is locked in a place, you will automatically start working towards that goal. Next, step number 2, prepare the study plan. Like I just mentioned, have a detailed study plan which will chalk out each and every dates by when you have to complete each chapter. Third, join a study group. So our ECBA certification programs include a study group where all my students who are preparing for the ECBA exam come and meet me, update me about their progress, ask doubts, and then we have a quiz to check how much the group is ready with that particular chapter. So every week, the group prepares a particular chapter and reports in the study group call to evaluate their understanding of the chapter. So have a study group where you can get a lot of support from your fellow members who are preparing for the exam. Point number 4, observe patterns in BA BOK. Now, most of my students say that BA BOK is very exhaustive, it's very boring, it's difficult to read. You will see in BA BOK, there is a lot of redundant content. So for ECBA examination, I don't ask my students to memorize the entire BA BOK. The book consists of more than 500 pages. You don't need to memorize everything, okay? You have to just observe the patterns in BA BOK. Observe the patterns and remove the redundancy. So there are some pattern techniques that we discuss in our study group calls, which you can observe and easily memorize the items given in BA BOK. Fifth point, dedicate at least 2 hours daily for your study. 2 hours daily to prepare for the exam is highly recommended. If you are a student and you can allocate more number of hours on a daily basis, then you can expedite this process. Okay. The last point, revise while on break. See, we have observed many times, it so happens that students study for 2 weeks and after that they go take a break. Either they get occupied with office work or something personal, and for 1 week, they have not touched BA BOK. So this is something that I don't recommend as a coach. Even when you're taking a break from the exam study, revise the old chapters that you have prepared. Keep revising it in your mind. You might not be able to start something new that particular week, but revise it in your mind, because the concepts in BA BOK that you had studied the previous weeks will just evaporate when you reopen the book. So you wouldn't like to get back to square one, right? So revise while you are on break. The next point talks about the passing score. Everyone asks, what is a passing score for this exam? Well, the passing score for the exam is not declared by IIBA. The next point talks about the timeline. So my students ask, how much time, ma'am, I'll require to prepare for the ECBA exam? Well, this differs from person to person. Net timeline that you can look at is 30 to 60 days. So if you follow the study plan that I've given you thoroughly to the core, within 30 days, you can target your exam. Now, what is the application process? Let's take a look at that. So for applying for the ECBA exam, you need to first create an account on the IIBA website. Creating an account is free and you don't need to pay anything. Just enter your personal details and an account will be created on the IIBA website. After that, you have to go and log in your professional development hours, which means you have to enter the details of the training program that you have undertaken in order to take this exam. So mention the name of the company and what kind of training you took and how many hours of training. So log your professional development hours, after which it will give you an option to go ahead and pay the application fee. Once you have paid the application fee, the application will be immediately approved, and within 5 minutes, you will receive an email stating that your application is approved. Now you can go ahead and pay your membership fee and the exam fee. After you pay the exam fee, you can schedule the exam as per your convenience. Now, last point, what is the validity of the certificate that you get from IIBA? The ECBA certification requires no renewal. It does not expire. So that's the good news. You don't need to keep renewing this certificate. This is also one reason that I highly recommend ECBA certification for beginners, because it's a lifelong certificate, guys. You don't need to keep renewing it. Once you complete the examination, IIBA will send you a certificate along with an ECBA badge.
So I believe that video has cleared all your queries, the queries that you might be having in your mind about the ECBA exam. I try to address the exam-related queries in the first class itself. You can go and watch this video again. It is there in Business Analysis Hub. You can slowly watch it again and again till you understand all the points that are discussed. So, any further queries you have on the ECBA exam, guys, you can post it in the chat, because I'm now going to start off with our portion, our masterclass syllabus. I believe it's clear to everyone. Type CL in the chat box if it's clear, so that I have a go ahead from your side. Everything with respect to preparation and the timeline that's taken, what's the fee structure and everything is very, very clear in that video. Go and watch it once again if you have missed any particular point. It will help you understand the exam better. Great. Thank you for that confirmation. Let me quickly. So let's get started. Today is day one of our masterclass, so we will be covering foundational concepts a lot. We'll spend some time in the foundation concepts. We will cover BA BOK chapter 1 and 2 today. Chapter 1 and 2 is relatively easy, you'll see. So we'll cover that. As I take you through each and every chapter of BA BOK, I want each one of you to be on that chapter. So the BOK PDF should be open in your laptop as well. Towards the end of the masterclass, I will discuss about the bootcamp project and what you need to do. So like I said, we'll start off with foundational concepts. These foundational concepts have been already sent to you in the form of preparatory videos. So I believe all of you must have gone through the IT Blueprint and Requirements Framework bundle. That's a prerequisite for this masterclass. Type yes in the chat box if you have gone through IT Blueprint and the Requirements Framework. I want a confirmation, guys. Type yes if you have gone through these two bundles. Great. So I'm not going to deep dive into these concepts because this will be a repetition. For people who have joined the masterclass towards the end, for people who did not get adequate time to go through these bundles, that's the reason I'm just brushing through these concepts. I will be asking you several questions. And since many of you have already gone through the bundles, I want responses to these questions. This will further reconfirm your understanding of these concepts. So pay attention, guys. There's a lot of activities coming on the way. What is business analysis? Now, there are a bunch of videos that I've done in the masterclass course bundle, which talks about what exactly business analysis is all about. Okay. If you have gone through those videos, you might be understanding this this image that's come up on the screen. Net business analysis talks about these 4 elements extensively. Okay, the need, the solution, the change, and the value. How these 4 elements connect. Be very attentive, guys. Take notes here. These 4 elements are very crucial. They are the foundation of business analysis. So need. We start off, your business analysis work starts with a need. That means your customer has a problem or an opportunity that he's chasing. So a need can be a problem or an opportunity. Remember that. So if you look around you guys, each and every product that's built today is coming out of a need, coming out of a problem. So every product, so in your mobile phone, you might be having 20, 25 apps. Each of these apps have been built to address a particular problem. The Telegram app that we are using to collaborate, the WhatsApp app, the food delivery apps, each of them have been built in order to help solve a particular problem. So that's the need. From the need is a starting point for business analysis. If our customers do not have a need, then there will be no products that we are developing. So in the market, if you launch a product for which there is no need in the market, obviously you not get customers to purchase it, right? So that is the reason need is very important. So need, when there is a need for a particular, when there is a problem the customer is facing, there is a solution that can address that particular problem. So as business analysts, we build solutions that can help solve our customer problem. And that's the reason I say for a BA, problem solving skills is very, very important. So need, solution, we have spoken about that. So once we build a solution that can help solve a particular need, what does that do, guys? Well, that brings about a change. That brings about a change in which our customer is doing business, or maybe his customers are doing work. Like, for example, if we talk about WhatsApp or Telegram, it has changed the way we collaborate with each other, isn't it? Before WhatsApp came into this world, the only way we could connect with our friends, family members was either visit them physically or call them up and speak to them over the phone. There was no way in which you could, easily collaborate by sending text messages, sending them photographs, of some events that you have attended, or sending them audios, audio recordings. You couldn't collaborate, connect with your loved ones in that particular way. Even nowadays, like in Telegram, we have our own masterclass group. Similarly, we have office groups, we have college groups, we have school groups, right? What do those groups do? They can collaborate together in order to finish their assignments. College students collaborate together to finish their assignments, their project works. They can share the home assignments. Office groups, they collaborate in order to arrange for different events that they want. Somebody's birthday is happening. They want to go out together for a project gathering. So there are different groups created. Group collaboration was also possible only after these apps came into picture. You could just collaborate across people having the same interest level and things like that. People working in the same domain. So that's the change that these apps brought about. Okay. So there was a need, there came a solution, and the solution brought about a change. And of course, when the solution that you're giving to your customer brings about a change, there is immense value that he gets out of that solution, right? There is immense value that he gets. Value is the benefit. So understand, guys, these are 3 core elements of business analysis. I'll be asking you this question again and again. Please remember these 4 core elements. We will expand on these 4 elements in the next few slides, and we'll see how Bebok puts it. Everyone clear on these 4 elements? Type 4. Type 4 in the chat box if you're clear. Great. Now let me take you to Bebok and show you this definition over there. Okay. I want you to open Bebok. When I'm taking you to a particular section of Bebok, try to navigate this book along with me, guys. After the masterclass, if you try to navigate it on your own, you might feel lost. Okay. So when I'm showing you Bebok here on the screen, Just don't stare at my screen. Go to that particular page and view it in your laptop as well. Everyone has been able to download it from the Business Analysis Hub. Download WebOrg from Business Analysis Hub. There are any download issues, we'll check that. Get my team to check it. I'll get my team to check it if there are any download issues. Let me take you to WebOrg quickly. Yes. So here I am in chapter number 1 of WebOrg, which is introduction. Okay, this is page number 1. So I just explained you the 4 elements of business analysis. I want you to see here how they have put business analysis together. So move to page number 2 and you will see what is business analysis. Business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Okay. So every point that I mentioned in the masterclass, every concept that I explained to you in the masterclass, I will be explaining it to you in a very simple language, giving you examples of WhatsApp, Telegram, food delivery apps. But when you start reading WebOrg, you will see that because the language of WebOrg is slightly heavy, you might get a little overwhelmed, or some students are not able to relate it. That is the reason I'm showing you which section in WebOrg this actually appears. So you see, if you read this definition, guys, it is written in a slightly sophisticated language. That's because WebOrg is a textbook. Understand, guys, many of my students, once they read WebOrg, they come back the next class and say, ma'am, this is so difficult. No, it is not difficult, guys. Understand, if you're expecting WebOrg to be like a novel, you're going to read a story and, just appear for the exam. It's not a novel. It's a textbook. It is a Bible for business analysis. So it is written in a particular language and a particular format. Okay? When I'm explaining the masterclass, I will explain you in simple terms and you have to take notes of those simple terms so that when you're reading WebOrg, you can map it. So the simple term that I mentioned was the 4 elements, which is also mentioned in this definition, guys. Change, need, solution, and value. These are the 4 elements of business analysis. Okay? The examples that I give you in the explanation, take notes of those examples. So when you're preparing for the exam, you'll not get overwhelmed by these definitions. You can understand very well what they mean. Got it? Type yes if you've got it. I don't want anyone to get nervous reading these definitions because they are pretty simple, provided you spend some time, taking notes and mapping into the respective sections in WebOrg. Okay, so that mapping has to be done. So we will be doing that mapping here in the class. So definitely have a copy of WebOrg open along with you. That's what is business analysis. Let me move to the next section. So now the next section talks about responsibilities of a BA. Now this is again, I have done it extensively in the video format, so I will not get into details. Each of these sections that you are seeing over there, on the slide as responsibilities of BA. In the masterclass, we are going to get deeper into these sections. So right now, I'm not explaining any of this. Business need assessment, there is an exclusive video in Business Analysis Hub where I've detailed out how you do a business need assessment. Solution design. BA talks a lot about solution design because senior BAs get involved in solution design. Mark this point. Take a note of this, guys. Entry-level BAs will not be asked to design solutions because it requires you to have certain level of maturity in the industry. Organizations hiring you understand that you are a junior BA. Entry-level persons cannot design solutions. So it's either done by senior BA or a solution architect. Don't worry about this. Then our usual stakeholder management, we have to manage the expectations of the stakeholders, the requirements gathering, requirement analysis, requirements documentation, change management, requirement prioritization, user acceptance testing, user training, preparation of user manuals. All of this are responsibilities of a functional team. Okay, make a note of this, guys. How to do each one of this, we will get into it. As our masterclass progresses, we will get into each one of these areas and see how to do it. Okay, so that's coming. I want each one of you to be very clear. This is our responsibility stack. Stakeholders. This is where the quiz comes, guys. So most of you have already gone through the IT blueprint and the requirements framework bundle. So let's spend some time to understand who are the stakeholders. What is the term? What does the term stakeholders mean to you? People who will be interacting with you in the project. So either directly interacting or indirectly interacting. So let me see. So keep your hands in the chat window, guys. I want you to type the name of the stakeholder. Okay, we are going to run a quest right now. Identify these stakeholders. Let's see. The first stakeholder. Give me a moment. First stakeholder is an individual with in-depth knowledge of a topic relevant to a business need. What's the name of the stakeholder? A person who is having in-depth knowledge of a topic. Yes, I want more responses coming in, guys. Correct. That's correct. Is a domain SME. Then let's see, look at the next stakeholder. Stakeholders who directly interact with the solution. Who are the stakeholders who directly interact with the solution? When I talk about solution, they're referring to the application that you're developing or the product that you're developing, okay? Interesting. Who are the people who directly interact with the application? People who directly interact with the application are the people for whom we develop those applications. So they are the end users. They are the end users. Now this one is very easy. Responsible. Who is the person who's responsible and accountable for BA activities? I think everyone will identify this. Yes, correct. It is the business analyst. This stakeholder uses or may use your product or service and may have some contractual obligations, contractual rights. Who is this guy? Identify him. Correct. He's the customer. Now, many of you might be having the question, what is the difference between the customer and the end user? How many of you have the question? What is the difference between the customer and the end user? So customer, let me clarify that. Customers are people who are giving us the requirements. So from the customer organization, let's say you are working for an IT services organization. You are the business analyst from that IT organization, and you are building a solution for a large investment bank. So this, there will be stakeholders from the large investment bank who will be responsible for giving you the requirements for that particular application. They will, though they're called as customer spokes or customer single point of contacts. Now, these customer spokes may or may not use the product that you're developing. It might be that they are senior managers from that department who's giving you the requirements, but their ground level staff is going to use the product. So their ground level staff becomes the end user. These senior managers are not going to use it, but the senior managers are responsible for you to give, are responsible to give you the requirements. So they are the customers. Okay, so that's a way you can look at the difference. Another example that I can give you, let's say you are rebuilding the Amazon website. Okay, your company is rebuilding the Amazon website. So naturally, Amazon is your customer. Your company's customer is Amazon. Now there will be spokes from Amazon who will be giving you requirements stating what kind of features they would like on the new website. So you have identified those spokes as customer spokes, right? Now, who are the end users of this website, guys? Anyone can tell me who are the end users of the Amazon website? Correct. It's you and me. People like us are the end users. So here you see a clear demarcation. So when a customer is building an application for their internal use, then the customer and the end user might be belonging to the same organization, right? The senior manager is developing software for his ground level staff. They both belong to the same organization, but they have different roles. One is called the end user, the other is called the customer spoke. Now, if if it is the example of a portal like Amazon, I said, a public portal, here there is a clear demarcation. Customer SPOC is from Amazon. End users are people like you and me, because the Amazon, it is not being built for the Amazon organization as such. It's built for people like you and me who are using that particular. Okay, so this is how we have to understand. Now, the last stakeholder that you see here, person who's responsible for day-to-day management and maintenance of the product. Who is called for maintenance? Yes, that's correct. The IT team or the operations team. So not always the development team will be a part of maintenance. Okay, in some projects, yes, the same development team forms operational support team, but we call them the operational support team. First person who's responsible for maintenance. Then let's see the next set of stakeholders. Read this, very important. This stakeholder is responsible for ensuring that the project objectives are met while balancing scope, budgets, schedule, resources. Who's this guy? Can you identify? Very easy, right? Project manager. Let me confuse you a little. That one will come later. Next stakeholder is responsible for the definition and enforcement of standards. What is the stakeholder called? Who is responsible for definition and enforcement of standards? Enforcement of certain regulations. Yes, it's the regulator. What we talk about in terms of regulators, see, there are regulatory bodies in every domain, right? Banks have their own regulatory authorities. In US, we have Federal Reserve as a central regulatory body for all the banks. In India, here we have RBI as a central regulatory authority. So if your project is related to something related to tax-related calculations and things like that, then there will be scenarios where certain regulations passed by these governing bodies will have a direct impact on your application. So these regulators, guys, regulators are involved only on a case-to-case basis. It's not involved in all the projects. So these regulators are responsible for enforcement of certain standards. There are certain rules and regulations that every bank has to follow and in order to achieve compliance. Okay. Next stakeholder. Now, this is the confusing part. Who is the stakeholder who authorizes the work to be performed and controls the budget and scope? Good job. Is the sponsor. The keyword that you should look for the exam, take a note of this. Whenever they have asked you to identify someone who authorizes the work, it is a sponsor. Who is sponsor? Sponsor is the guy who pumps in the funds. He's the guy who's responsible for the funds, right? He's the person who puts the money on the table. So he has the authority to kickstart the project work. Project manager does not have the authority. Okay. So the point where students get confused, let me tell you that the last, if you just read the last portion, control the budget and scope. Students read this last section, controlling budget and scope, and they feel, oh, this is a project management thing, and they mark it as project manager. But also read the first half of it. They're speaking about somebody who authorizes the work. So budget and scope is a common element for sponsor as well as project manager, remember. But don't get confused with this. All good on the stakeholders, guys? All good on the stakeholders? Type CL in the chat box. We are good on the stakeholders. Yes. I know many of you who have already gone through these videos must have memorized all this stuff, but we are just going through it so that, there might be people who have just recently enrolled in the masterclass and they did not get adequate time to go through these videos. Okay, for their benefit. For people who have not yet gone through these videos, I suggest that you complete these videos this week itself so that your concepts are much, much clearer as we go ahead. Okay. Now I'm going to just briefly touch upon SDLC. SDLC has been detailed out in Information Technology Blueprint. Okay, so watch that bundle. I'm just going to briefly touch so that when I explain you different documents that are prepared, you are in sync with me. Now, two dominant methodologies we are speaking about in this masterclass is waterfall and agile. Agile is a framework. Under agile, we are going to focus on Scrum. Okay, so my advice and suggestion to all of you is within WebOp, also they are talking about these predominant methodologies in the IT world. Now, in the IT world, there are several other derived frameworks that you will come across. You will find RUP, then there is Lean framework. You'll see a lot of these frameworks which are derived from these parents. So don't get confused by reading too much of stuff on the internet. Focus on these two methodologies. If you know the parent, the children becomes, knowing the children is a cakewalk. So these two are large, these two frameworks are two large frameworks within the IT world, waterfall and agile, and rest of the things, the rest of the processes and frameworks created are just derived out of this. Don't worry too much on that. So you'll get all knowledge about this in the information technology blueprint. I'll just briefly touch on waterfall. You must have seen in the information technology bundle, I've spoken about waterfall, and these are the different phases that you will find in a waterfall projects. Okay. Starting right from the requirements or the planning phase, moving right to the maintenance. Now, waterfall, if you see, it is a phase-wise approach. Remember that waterfall is always a phase-wise approach. That means there's a defined phase for every activity. In the requirements phase, we only focus on requirements. The BA gets involved in requirements gathering, meetings, analysis is done, documentation is run, and only post sign off on the requirements, the technical team starts designing. The technical team starts designing the technical architecture and all of that. Okay. Once the design is over, then the development team starts coding, the programming starts. And once the programming is over, then the testing phase happens. That is, the testers start testing the product. And then the final deployment into production. And then the application gets into maintenance mode. So in waterfall is a more structured and a phase-wise approach. This is one thing that you have to remember. In BABOK, waterfall model is mentioned as predictive. Take a note of this word, guys. You will see in WebOp everywhere there is a note of, there is a mention of this word, predictive approach. So you might wonder what is predictive approach. Predictive approach means waterfall. They are not directly referring to it as waterfall. Mention in your notes, predictive equal to waterfall. Have you done that, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you've done it. Mention in your notes, predictive equal to waterfall. The second approach that we spoke about is agile, which is referred in BABOK as adaptive approach. Again, mark this, agile equal to adaptive. And within agile, like I mentioned, within agile, we are focusing only on Scrum. Scrum is a predominant framework that's used for software development across the globe. Okay. And in my videos, I have extensively spoken about how the Scrum works and what are the roles involved in Scrum and all of that. So I will not get into details of how the sprint planning and everything is done. But let me tell you in a nutshell the major difference between waterfall and Scrum. Now, waterfall, I told you, that we have defined phases where every activity is done. In Scrum, there we have something called as sprints. A sprint can span across 1 to 4 weeks. Now, if I give you a very simple example, you will understand this better. Let's move away from the IT world and let's get into a real life scenario. Let's say you want to book an apartment and you start searching for an apartment of your choice. Now, you read an advertisement for a building that's getting constructed in the nearby location and you visit the site and the construction has just started. So you can't see the apartment. You can't see the apartment, but a person in the sales counter hands you several pamphlets and gives you several brochures and shows you pictures about how your apartment will look like when it's done. Okay, so you can see it all in terms of photographs, but you can't, nothing is ready. You can't see it. So if you look at any construction project, right, guys? So waterfall is a methodology that is not only used in the IT world, it is used across several domains. Okay. You'll see this methodology being used in the construction world, in the retail world. Each and every different domains use waterfall. Now, when you look at the construction of an apartment or construction of a bridge, flyover, anything, you will see that's also a phase-wise approach, where at the initial stage, they do a lot of planning. The architects create the floor plan and the entire building plan, and then how exactly visually the building should look like, the designers start actually designing the visual effects and all of that. So what happens is, the major difference is in waterfall, you are not able to see the product unless the entire product is finished, right? You can't see it. That's exactly what happens in the software world. If your client is developing a product using the waterfall approach, he gets to see it only when it comes in the UAT phase. That is a user acceptance testing. That is a phase when the customer starts testing the application. So let's say you're building an application for the customer, let's say Amazon website. You're rebuilding this Amazon website for Amazon, and the entire project has been estimated for 9 months. So at the end of 7th month, the user acceptance testing is going to start. So it's only on the 7th month the user will be able to see how his website looks like, because it will come for his testing. Till that time, only the BA will be interacting with the customer, telling him, yes, it's going on well, we have completed this. Updation of progress will be there, but he doesn't get to see his website. So Waterfall had this particular drawback. The customers had a relatively longer wait time to see the final product. The Agile framework was built in order to overcome this particular challenge. So customers could see see the product shaping up much earlier in Agile frameworks. Like for example, if you go back to the real life scenario, let's say you are renovating your house. You have now identified a new interior decorator who will help you renovate the house and things like that. And he gives you the plan and how he is going to redecorate every room of your apartment and things like that. Now, before the work progress, you tell this interior decorator that you're going to come on site every 2 weeks and see how the project is shaping up. You want to actually see what work he's doing. So this particular architect will plan it in such a way that every 2 weeks, he has something ready to show you. So that when the customer comes, he's not disappointed. So he will plan his work in such a way that he will allocate resources. Let's say on the first 2 weeks, he gets the living room done, majority of the electrical fittings or whatever. Just giving example. What a majority of the electrical fittings in the living room, as well as some plumbing work, he gets that done in the first 2 weeks. And he shows you, when you visit the site, he shows that as an output. Next 2 weeks, he focuses on your bedrooms and maybe redecorates the ceiling, and the bathroom fittings, whatever he has planned. And he shows you that as the second output of in the next 2 weeks. So here what he's doing is, as a customer, he's not keeping you disappointed. He's not keeping you away from evaluating the progress. Every 2 weeks, you can come and see, and you can see, okay, the things, and you are given the flexibility of readjusting. That means you come at the end of 2 weeks, you come and see, and you don't like some modifications that he has made to your apartment. You can tell him there that, no, don't do it in this way. I don't like it. Change this. This is exactly the flexibility customers get in agile software development. That means every 2 weeks, we develop something called as minimum viable product, MVP. Take a note of this jargon, guys. You will hear this jargon quite often. MVP. So we develop a minimum viable product. It doesn't mean that we are going to develop the entire product in 2 weeks. That's not possible. We are going to identify a bunch of features that is crucial for his business. And we, at the end of 2 weeks, we'll show him only those bunch of features. Like if you go back to the Amazon website, let's say we develop the search, login, and registration feature. And we'll tell customer, right in the beginning, our first sprint, we are going to release these 3 features. You can visually see these particular features functioning. You can play around with these features, and you can tell us whether you like it or do not like it. If you want us to readjust those features, we can work on those features. Don't you think this particular approach is much better than the waterfall approach? How many of you agree with this? You agree? The agile framework is much more flexible. So the reason I got some real life scenarios of construction and things like that is I understand many of you are from non-IT backgrounds. just to relate it to the real life scenario of a construction of a building and or renovation of a house, I have brought those scenarios. The same logic you have to apply into software development. The same logic persists here. In Agile, we are able to show output to our customers much faster, speed of delivery, and they are able to readjust and give us feedback that what are the improvement areas. In Waterfall, they don't get that flexibility because if my project has been estimated for 9 months, after completion of the entire application, I will show it to the customer. Then what happens from the customers per se? They always had a concern. 7 months of effort, and then we see the product. What if we don't like it? You guys will not even change it because we have developed the entire product. Okay, so this was one of the challenges of Waterfall. Of course, a customer gets a flexibility of raising change requests even in Waterfall. That is there, and it's directly billed to the customer. Every change that they bring about is directly billable to the customer. So that's a flexibility that Agile brings. I hope Waterfall and Agile, two methodologies, very clear in your head before we proceed. Great. I'm happy that we are making good progress.
Okay, guys, now I would like to pause here. If I start a new concept, I might not be able to finish it in today's session. So, in the next session, we'll learn about the business analysis core concept model. I'll explain you the business requirements for the bootcamp project, and we'll explore two widely used business analysis techniques, that's brainstorming and mind mapping. We'll also get hands on practice on the tool Gitmind, where we will create